keeping up with our motto that learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with a remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students! Hello students, a warm welcome to all of you. My name is Neha Shetty from Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Here we are for the subject indoor game and the topic would be Carrom Part 3. This video includes arrangement of coins, placement of striker, how to play shots, toss, some basic rules of Carrom, red coin rules and some fundamental rules. Arrangement of the coins. When starting the game, all Carrom men should be placed at the center of the Carrom board. Queen should be at the very center and 6 out of 9 white coins should make a Y shape, while the 3 remaining ones should be placed in an opposite direction of each of the Y line. The black coins are arranged in 3 distinct places with a group of 3 as shown in the figure down below. Correct and incorrect striker placement. Before pocketing the coin, you have to make sure that your striker touches both the front and the rear line. Also, you can't touch the diagonal lines which are drawn on both the left and right side where you sit. How to play the shots. There are 2 different types of forward shooting styles in Carrom, using index finger and using middle finger. It's just a personal preference and pick one in which you are most comfortable with. But one thing to note here is that you can't push the striker. You can just flick it. Otherwise, it will be considered illegal during the match. For the forward shots, you can use your index finger, middle finger or scissors shot. Pro tip: make sure your finger nail touches the striker before flicking to get the ultimate accuracy. For back shots, you can use either the scissors or thumb shot technique. The toss. Order of play is determined by the process of calling the Carrom or the toss. Before commencing each match, an umpire hides one black Carrom in one hand and one white Carrom on the other hand. The players guess which color Carrom is being held in each hand. The player who guesses correctly wins the toss. The winner of the toss strikes first, which is called the opening break. The winner of the toss has the option to change sides from white to black and give up the opening break. The winner of the toss may not pass this decision to the other player. If the winner of the toss chooses to change sides, then the loser must strike first. The player taking the first shot plays white Carrom. The opponent plays black. If that player cannot score any points, then that player loses the turn and their opponent can choose to play any Carrom, black or white, in favor. Carrom rules for the game. Here are some of the Carrom board rules for the game which must be understood before starting a match. These are striker rules. The striker is meant for shooting the Carrom and dash them into the pockets. In the Carrom board rules, 2 parallel lines run covering all 4 sides. The striker must be placed in such a manner that it touches both the parallel lines every time the striker is placed to shoot a Carrom. At the 4 corners of the Carrom board near the pockets and attached to the baselines are 4 circles. When placing the striker, either the circle should not be touched at all or the striker has to be placed on the circle. You cannot place the striker in such a way that it touches both the parallel lines and the circle as well. You can use only the index fingers, middle fingers and the thumb of both the hands while playing. The thumb must be used for backward shots. You can do a toss to avoid confusion and the one who wins the toss will get the chance to strike first. The teams strike one by one in the middle of the Carrom disc unless one of the teams strikes at any one of the color of the Carrom. For example, if player 1 manages to pocket a white Carrom, he will have to pocket all the white Carrom and or the queen as early as possible in order to win the match. The same rule is applied for the player 2 as well. Every player will get a single chance in one round. If a player pots a Carrom, for example, if player 1 pots a white Carrom, he will get another chance to pot another Carrom of the same color and will continue to get as many chances till he misses the shot. Once the shot is missed, the turn will automatically be passed to the other player. A player cannot pot the queen at the beginning of the game in the first shot without potting a black or white colored Carrom. That is, player 1 starts the game and he pots the queen. This cannot be taken as a bonus or anything. First he has to pot a white Carrom who can be followed by the queen. Soon after the queen is pocketed by any player, the player has to cover the queen by pocketing another Carrom of the color he is supposed to pocket. For player 1, he has to pocket a white Carrom after he pockets the queen. On failing to do that, the queen has to be placed back in the center of the board in the small disc shaped. Red coin Carrom board rules. Initially, the queen should be placed at the center of the board. In order to score the queen, a player must pocket white or a black coin depending on whichever is his or hers. If a player failed to do so, the queen will be adjusted to its original position and no points will be rewarded. The important thing to keep in mind is that the red queen must be sunk before your last coin, either black or white. So let's take a scenario here. If two players are playing and there are only 3 coins left on the board, black, white and red respectively, then both the players must strive to pocket the queen. If any of the player accidentally or knowingly pockets his or her own coin, the coin will be returned and placed at the center of the board. Those 2 coins are meant to be treated as a cover for scoring the queen. Otherwise, it does not make any sense to pocket all the regular colored Carrom without leaving one as a cover for the queen. Once a player covers the queen and the respective coin first wins the game. The red coin can be pocketed at any time of the game, but after a clear distinction of which color is yours. Other fundamental Carrom board rules. Carrom board rules are the basic thing one must know before starting a game or before indulging oneself in a challenge. A single different rule can land a player into disqualification. So here are some fundamental Carrom rules for a better understanding of the sport. One must memorize the Carrom rules as this would make a game easier for them. If a striker is pocketed by a player anyhow, this will be taken as a foul shot and he has to put back one of his 1 Carrom in the center of the board. He also loses a chance. If a Carrom along with the striker gets pocketed anyhow, the player will have to put back 2 of his 1 Carrom in the center of the Carrom board. But in this case, he will get a chance to shoot. While shooting for the respective Carrom, the player should not stand up or move from the chair. If a Carrom falls out of the Carrom board, the Carrom has to be placed in the center of the Carrom board. While playing Carrom, the player's wrist can touch the Carrom board. If any other part touches the Carrom board, it will be counted as disqualified. It is recommended that the players choose their sides before starting the match, as they cannot shift their positions once the match begins. If the striker does not move in a single strike, the player earns 3 more strikes before he loses his turn. Rebound strikes touching the player's baseline can also be used to pocket a Carrom.